kids, welcome to Glen's Drum Emporium. It's been a while for the topic of small, tiny drum sets. I've done a couple of videos, one on a Yamaha Taye kit. I've done one on the Questlove Ludwig drum set, and now I'm going to do one on my Taye Go Kit. This is my favorite out of all the kits. I've recorded with this one, and it records great. Needs new heads, but it's not getting it for this video, so you're just gonna have to bear with it. I'm gonna give you the rundown of the scoop of how I got this kit. This drum set, the original 4-piece, I bought in a pawn shop for $120, if I remember right, years and years ago. It's a fire engine red, maybe not fire engine red, but it's a fire red. 4-piece. It's basically a 13-inch snare, a 10-inch tom, 12-inch floor tom, an 18-inch bass. The 18-inch bass is only 7 inches deep. The toms are all shallow, pancake drums. I forget what the measurements are. Like I say, I bought it dirt cheap. They thought it was a toy drum set. I could tell by the look on their faces they were wondering why this big guy is buying a toy drum set for himself. But I knew what it was as soon as I saw it. Go Kits they're a great kit. They're great for small gigs, definitely great for jazz gigs. I've used it on some rock gigs. You definitely have to mic the kick up to bring out the punch. But yeah, I love the kit. I have added some Taye Go Kit toms. Being that the fire red kit that I have, it's a birch on the outer layer, and I think on the inner layer, and then it's the middle layers are other woods. The problem with the first series of drums, they're hard to find the matches in color for the 8-inch tom, and they make a 14. So I was only using it for recording for the most part, so I didn't care what the color was. So whenever I saw a deal on a spare tom that was a different size, I grabbed it. I've also added a full 18-inch bass drum that's, I think, 16 deep. It might be 14, but I think it's 16. I could be wrong. That I bought off a friend. So I'm going to give you a lowdown here. This is the Taye Go Kit. The original pieces I bought were these right here, these 4 drums. They came with all Taye hardware. One stands right there, another one's there. I have a Taye stand for here, but it's tucked away and I couldn't reach it in my stash, so that one's got a Yamaha one for now. I also got the Taye snare stand with it, Taye pedal, which this is a Yamaha. Again, the Taye pedal is stored away. And I had a Taye hi-hat also. It's, again, hard to reach in my stash, so I just grabbed whatever. But I have a complete Taye kit with all the hardware. This is the tom mount. It slides forward and back on a rail. It was missing the cap for this, so I made one, and it works fine. It looks similar to that, only it's got a little more shape to it, but that works fine. These multi-clamps come off. They just clamp onto the shaft. You can put a cymbal boom on there. I do have the cymbal boom, but I don't use it. That's the height. It goes the lowest, and I find that unless I'm using it for a splash, I find that kind of useless. So anyways, So that's the kit. I've done recording with it. This thing sounds fantastic, mic'd. As you can tell, the skins are pretty worn, and a couple of them have the original tie heads. This tom here is an addition. As you can see, it's a slightly orangish color compared to the red. I could not find a 14 in this color. The 14s, they came in an option on the Go Kit. You could get a small 14 by 11 floor tom with legs, or the hanging floor tom like this. They all come with the rim system. So they're suspension mounts, I guess you'd call them. But I wanted the hanging toms to keep it more of the pancake style of drum. I also bought, I couldn't find an 8-inch in this color. So I found it's a black stain, semi-gloss stain. I got both these. He wouldn't sell me just one, so he sold me both for $100, which is absolute deal. And each drum came with the ball clamp for mounting these. So I have another one. I actually have a bunch of these. These are tie clamps, tom holders. They're a ball pivot. They're a ball pivot, just like I guess Tama. There's the other one there, and I could put the 8-inch tom there for that, and then mount another 12-inch over here and tune it slightly different on another cymbal stand. I usually use the left-handed floor tom a lot, but so those basically, I bought that and got that free. So the guy just wanted to part with them. Got a little bit of a mark on it. Now the bass drum is 18 by 7. I have bought a kickstand for it, which raises the kick drum up high, about 2 inches, so when you hit the beater, it hits in the middle of the drum. Whereas if you didn't use the kickstand, you'd be hitting up here, and you lose a bit of tone there. You're not going to get John Bonham sound out of a 7-inch deep bass drum. So you have to get that in your head, that this is not going to be a cannon, okay? This is going to be more of a jazz choked sound with not a lot of resonance. What I did buy was a full 18-inch kick, and that's sitting right there. I bought it in black. I actually use it with my D drum kit because I have a 10 and a 14-inch floor tom with that. I also have a tie tom to go with that. I am currently looking for a 14-inch tie black floor tom. Almost impossible to find. It's just one of those deals. Ultra rare to find them just by themselves. The company seems to be out of business now. Whereas the Go Kit is a birch, these are maple. The black tom that I have for it is maple, so I'm looking for a black maple 14-inch floor. It makes a great kit for small gigs, small clubs, small stage. So being an 18, and then I use a kickstand with that, that bass drum can sub out to this one. I can remove this, and all the settings, I just take this whole bar, slide it out, put the full bass drum in, slide that into the bracket on the 18-inch kick, and I'm good for another gig. The bass drum's black, it goes with red, in my opinion, so I don't really care, and it sounds great. We're going to test drive this kit shortly, but I'll give you a tour of it. Like I say, it's got the suspension mounts. The kit needs a bit of a cleaning. It's been in storage. I haven't recorded with it in a while. Like, they're beautiful, beautiful drums. This one's a semi-gloss. You can see fairly thick shells. Again, used heads. This is how I bought it. Like I say, the odd time I put this on, and for certain recording projects, but haven't used it in a while. This is the Taye bass drum. I'll try and get some light on this. It's a beautiful kick. Bought it off a friend who sadly just passed away, and sold it to me with a case for $100. Came with multiple heads, a couple of Taye heads from the front, a white coated and a black one. Fold away legs, and it's maple. It's beautiful, beautiful drum. So don't mind the tags on everything. I have so many drums and hardware, I like to, mark them, what stands go with what kit. Like I say, you can see the wood grain in it if you really, really look at it. It's a fire stained red on it. Like I say, it's a narrow bass drum. The bass drum needs a bit of cleaning. And we'll try and get a low shot here. Now, these legs are replacement legs that I came up with. When I bought it in the pawn shop, it didn't have the legs. The pawn shop got the legs, but they misplaced them and never found them, which was fine. I just made my own. They're really thick steel. They work great with the kickstands. They're perfect for the height. I made sure I did some measuring. But see how, let's get my head out of the light here. You can see, maybe you can't see, but you can definitely see the wood grain. But pancake drums, really, really narrow. It looks like a kid's set, as you can see all the way down in there. So, yeah. And the snare, like I say, it's a 13 diameter. I don't know the depths. I used to, but now I don't. It's been too long. I've owned this kit for a long time. I only recently found the 14-inch floor tom. Those are almost impossible to find. It's just kind of crazy. You end up having to buy a whole kit just to get one tom, and it's like I wasn't going to do that. So you can see how narrow that bass drum is. And if I was to take this drum and just put it here and compare, that's quite a difference. Quite a difference in depth. So, and like I say, if you don't know what a kickstand is, it's a metal bracket that connects to the bass drum rim. You can see it in the back there. Extends down 2 inches, puts a flange on the bottom so your pedal can connect to it. But it allows the beater to hit in the best sound zone of a bass drum, which is the middle or just a hair above or below center. Any more than that and you really lose bottom end. It just kind of disappears. So, like, see, these drums are a little dirty. So, I've got a black head too that's full with no hole in it. Normally there's a, I don't know where it is, it's somewhere inside. Oh yeah, this is for muffling. It goes in a slot here. There. helps muffle it a bit. It's amazing what this little donut does. It just totally changes the sound of that kick drum. That little piece of foam on the sound hole. So, but it's getting beat up from lots of playing. And like I say, the legs come off and fold down. This is what the bracket's supposed to look like. And like I say, I made the one. Here, I'll get a top view. I made that one out of a rectangular piece of chrome. So, anyways, that is the baby. It's a beautiful kit. Like I say, Taye drums are not being built anymore. They were doing great and then disappeared. They failed, I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So now any companies that are still have the drums are just, they're dumping their stock. And definitely you'll find a lot of orphaned drums from music stores. So, and that's where this one come from, because it's got a brand new head. That was I don't know when I bought it, but I bought this, I think, for $45. Like, I don't think you can build it for $45. So I'll have to tune that one a little bit. Yeah, that one's a bit out. Anyways, so we're going to give them a test drive, not right this minute because I'm filming this late at night. Give it a test drive in the lunchtime area and keep the neighbors happy. And we're not going to mic the drum set. I'm going to do all acoustic, so you know what these drums sound like for you, because it's kind of cheating if you mic it up and go, oh wow, that sounds great, but really most of the time we're going to play this kit acoustically. That's the whole point of buying, you know, small drums, just do small clubs. So I'm going to do it with both bass drums. I'll switch them out in the video so you can hear it with the 7-inch kick and the deeper 16-inch kick. Both are 18-inch diameter, keep that in mind. And we'll go from there. And I recommend, you know, if you want just a putt-putt kit just for horsing around, or you're in a small space, or if you just play tiny little clubs, the Taye drum set, the Go Kit, is great. I recommend it. But I also recommend the Questlove drum set by Ludwig that I did a video on, and I also recommend the Yamaha Anukache kit. The only thing I don't like about that kit is metal hoops on the bass drum. I found they loosen off when you play, so I'm switching it to wooden hoops with claws, and hopefully that cures the issue, and it'll look better. I always like wooden hoops on my bass drums. Alright, so the performance video of this is coming in a second video. Alright, it's a two-parter. Thanks for watching.